That's Prince Rogers Nelson. He's the dirtiest of all the Pixies.
Yeah, he's absolutely filthy. I mean, 22 positions in a one-night stand is about 15 too many.
To be honest, all the other Pixies in the Faraway Tree are getting fed up with his filthy behaviour.
Well, he's giving the whole tree a bad name. With the way he carries on.
Pixies a bad name.
He absolutely is. How you doing, listeners? Adam Buxton here with
Joe Cornish. I thought you were going to say with like 2 hours of amazing music.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but then it would be as if it's just me with 2 hours of amazing music.
Yeah.
I thought that would make you feel a bit excluded.
No.
So I was waiting for you to jump in. How you doing, man? I mean, you pushed off fairly quickly after last night's show, if you don't mind me saying.
I did, yeah. I was a little bit overtired.
Were you?
I think I had mild sunstroke. So I went back to sleep it off. But I was here earlier than you.
You were, that's absolutely true.
I was here by 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Before the first act was even on, checking out the scene, while you were in Sleepyland.
I wasn't actually in Sleepyland because it was a little bit noisy in the hotel.
Well, what were you doing, trying to cycle up the hill again?
I was preparing my band facts.
Really?
Yeah, they're coming up later in the show.
It's exciting.
You'll be reaping the rewards of my early morning work session. But speaking of sunstroke, 1,000 people were treated yesterday for sunstroke.
Is that so?
Yeah. People, if you're listening, watch out for that sun, whether you're at Glastonbury or not. It's vicious, thanks to Al Gore, and you've really got to cover up, otherwise you're in trublogs. Yeah. That's a serious warning there for you.
Trublogs?
Trublogs. That's the worst kind of trouble.
Right.
Yeah, like logs of it.
Yeah. Logs and logs.
But then I wandered around after the show last night for a while, and me and James, the producer, went and had a little drinky and had some fun and met some folks. And then I didn't cycle back. I put my bike on the big BBC coach, right? Because I thought it would be a bit irresponsible to cycle back after Pimm's. But then when I got on the bus, I started thinking, I need a little whizzle-wazzle. Oh, hang on. It's only 6 miles to Wells. It's not a big problem. But then you have to wait for like half an hour for everyone to get on the bus. Is Steve Lamacq on the bus? Yes, he is. Is Gideon on the bus? And half an hour later, we finally pull away, and then it takes ages to actually get off the site because you've got to wait for all the confused Biffy Clyro fans to clear the road and stuff. And so then we're going back. It's taking ages and ages. Meanwhile, I am busting by this point. And then we're about I'm thinking we must be nearly there by now. We're driving down late-night roads. I'm thinking, and we get to a little conurbation. I'm thinking, this is the outskirts of Wells. Surely we're nearly there. I can hang on, even though it's like a stabbing pain now in my groinal zone. And then I see a sign saying Wells, 7 miles.
Oh, no.
So I'm in total trouble. I had to stop the bus.
No.
Yeah, James, the producer, stopped. He said, do you want me to stop the bus for you?
And did you get out and do your whizzle-wazzle in the hedge?
Yeah. And
did the whole of the BBC radio crew watch you do it?
Yeah, they did. I said like a little, sorry guys, a bladder emergency. But it was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
Wow.
It was like being 16 again.
Your tiny bladder causes you so many problems.
Honestly, because I cycle everywhere, it's usually not a problem. I can just whizzle anywhere I like.
You should write a book, like David Byrne's cycling book. You could just do a book about emergency whistles.
Oh, I've had so many. But the last one in my life I haven't had since I was about 6, and I was at Disneyland, and my dad had to stop the what's it called? The ride where you go through the jungle cruise.
No.
I needed to go for a wee in the jungle cruise, and so he had to turn the boat back.
You should have just done it on an animatronic gorilla.
I would have been up for it. Just whizzed on a hippo's head or something. Would have added to it. But no.
Listen, we've got great music coming up. Lots of live performances from today's gigs, acts, shows here at Glastonbury coming up. We're going to kick it off with a little something right now. This is Delphic, who performed on the Peel stage earlier.
Do you know about Delphic?
Yeah, I do.
You got to say that because you embarrassed yourself, or we embarrassed ourselves last night.
The Big Pink.
With the Big Pink, and it turned out that, of course, we've played them on our show.
Tell us a bit about Delphic.
Oh, they're from ancient Greece.
Yes, they're an oracle.
Yeah, and they all have columns.
They do? Do they?
Yeah, it's a play on words.
Do they?
Like ancient Greece Delphic columns. And they rock. They absolutely rock. Here, look. Here they are rocking. It's got a robot in the band there.
That was Delphic with Doubt. This is Adam and Joe on BBC Six Music coming to you live from Glastonbury. Now, there's a certain amount of activity on Twitter, which is a social networking thing. Do you know about Twitter?
I do, man. I mean, I've been a member of Twitter now.
You committed Twitter side.
I committed Twitter side initially last year. I joined for 2 weeks and then chopped myself. but that's not the correct phrase that you just used. No.
What is it?
No, I don't know.
What
but
is it?
It isn't Twitterected.
Well, I think it's something better then. You can't! I win! The end.
But no, if you're not here at the festival and you'd like to feel more connected to
that was
it...
my stream of logic.
Was it?
Yeah, I was about to go on to say that people are tweeting with a particular hashtag
Right.
about this show. Do you know about hashtags?
No.
Yeah, neither do I. But the hashtags they're using, I do. They're Glasto Squadron and Twit Squadron. There's a certain amount of Black Squadron activity as well.
Yeah.
The Dormant Squad.
Well, Black Squadron only operate between 9 and 9:30
Well, exactly.
usually, or
exactly.
10 and 10:30.
So they're deep undercover.
Wow.
They've been asleep since Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But they're lethal. So,
Well, when your training goes that deep, you can be reactivated at any time. You can be reactivated. I'm very, very drunk. Also badly sunburned.
So we thought we'd give Glasto Squadron and Twit Squadron and Black Squadron a command.
Yeah.
Like back in the old days.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a photo command.
Yeah.
So we're going to issue this command, and you have to take a photo based on the command and send it to us via text. You can't email your photos. No.
No, it's best to send them to 64046. And we'll receive them that
charges
way.
apply.
Network charges apply.
They do actually apply, Adam, I'm afraid.
I know, everyone
Yeah,
wishes they
apply.
didn't.
I know, in this case they do.
But you can't live in a dream
I'm
world.
sorry.
I'm sorry, but they do.
Sorry.
They apply.
So, here comes the command.
Uh-huh.
Glasto Squadron and Twit Squadron and Black Squadron.
Yeah.
This is a command aimed at people who are perhaps feeling a little bit forlorn that they're not here.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you're around the telly watching the BBC's coverage, or round your computer watching the online coverage,
Yeah.
and you want to join in. So we challenge you hereby to take a photo of your Front Room Festival.
Front Room Festival is your command.
We want to see
Twit
you behaving
Squadron.
like you would if you were here, but in your front room.
Yeah.
We won't give you any more to go on than that. But
No,
the
you
most-
can interpret that any way you wish.
the most spectacularly evocative photos. We will describe them on air. We'll try and pop them onto the blog. What? Our blog or the Glasto, the BBC Glasto blog? Further details coming up. But that's your command, all those various squadrons. It's a multi-squadron command, and we understand that, you guys have been dormant for a while, so we'll be, quite forgiving.
Absolutely, and you can see the fruits of your labours. It may not be today, but almost certainly tomorrow at bbc.co.uk/blogs/Adam and Joe. That's the blog. And you can watch us right now, if you're sort of insane, at bbc.co.uk/Glastonbury, where you'll find a live video stream. And is it sort of stroby and jerky, or is it pretty... It's like watching telly nowadays in the modern times. But everyone's talking about the fact that the internet coverage is not that great for us. You're smiling like... because
I like a sentence that starts everyone's talking
I know.
about.
As soon as I said that, I knew I was in trouble from
It's like I'm
Torpedo
going to walk out of the
Commander
studio
Corners.
and I'll hear everyone going, "Oh, did you know the internet? Oh, excuse me. Hey, Johnny, it's really bad. Oh, internet. Oh, have you heard about the internet?"
That's what it's like everywhere I've been going.
What are they all saying?
They're saying, like, well, I was sat next to a couple of cool guys at supper with their aviator shades on. They're saying, what do you think about the coverage this year? Well, mobile coverage is very good, but the broadband's not up to much. And I chipped in and I said... yeah, I think Michael... I think I was being serious when I said it as well. I said, I guess Michael Eavis is probably paid to move the satellite or something for the phones, but maybe hasn't got around to the broadband. I mean, you'd think he'd roll out a bit of fibre optics.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What did the men say?
They didn't say anything. They got up and they put their plates away.
Great chat.
It was a good chat.
Good time.
Should we play some more music?
Yeah, this is Imogen Heap.
She's tall.
She's very tall. She's apparently the tallest lady at the festival. She's over 6 foot. Our
Yeah.
producer
That's why she's called Heap.
says she's got very big hair as well. That probably adds a few inches to the general effect. This is her
Big
performing
hair,
on the other
big
stage.
talent,
a
big
track
woman.
called Tidal.
Hey.
That was her singing Tidal from the other stage. Was that today, James? Wow, good stuff. This is Adam and Joe on BBC Six Music, coming to you live from the Glastonbury Festival in Somerset.
Somerset's beautiful.
Home of delicious apples. I have to say, the apples in the BBC catering restaurant area are really succulent and
Catering
delicious.
in general is tip-top.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
Yeah.
What's the name of the restaurant again?
Eat to the beat.
Eat to the Beat. That's
Not-
where we interviewed wild beasts. That's coming up later on in the programme after about 9:30.
We say interviewed.
Well, we did a sort of quiz between Joe and Wild Beasts.
Sort of scared and upset them.
That's
Slightly.
possible.
Confused them.
They're quite shy chaps. They were lovely, though. And while we were in there, we were trying to think of alternate names for restaurants in BBC compounds at festivals. I got told off the other day by someone for pronouncing the T at the end of restaurant.
Restaurant.
Yeah.
So now you've adjusted your behaviour to say restaurant.
Yeah, I like to do everything that people tell me.
Do you say Michelin or Michelin?
Michelin.
You say Michelin?
Oui.
Of course you do.
And I say pizza.
Do you? Well, then you're an idiot.
Do you say urine?
Urine.
And I say rosé instead of rosé.
Rosé?
Rosé.
Yeah.
Rosé wine. Hey, are you a Facts fan?
They're all right. They're all right. They're all right. You know.
I was hoping for something more positive.
I was trying to go in a different and unexpected direction.
Well, maybe this will change your mind.
Band Facts.
Now,
I like that noise.
yeah, it's nice.
That dingly bell noise.
It's like a lady noise.
It's woken me up.
Um,
It's a lady noise.
it's like a lady noise. That's the sound that happens in
What
ladies'
lady?
minds.
Really, when they have an idea.
If you see, I think that's what happens in Sarah Jessica Parker's head a lot.
Really?
When she sees a lovely dress.
In a shop window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Muse are playing tonight, Joe.
Yeah.
They're your favourites.
I love Muse.
And they're on the Pyramid stage. As soon as we stop our show tonight, we are going to take a chopper over to the Pyramid stage, even though it's only a couple of metres away. And we are going to hover above the stage as they play an incendiary set.
Oh, a chopper. I've got a chopper bicycle.
Oh, no, I'm going in a
You've got an
helicopter.
actual chopper?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Anyway, let me give you some facts about the band that you may not be aware of. These are interesting. Lead singer Matt Bellamy owns a giant perspex and stainless steel house by Lake Como at the foot of the Alps, but he actually lives 6 miles under the ground beneath it in a fortified bunker. Don't know if you knew that. He makes the overground house appear occupied for security purposes by leaving the radio on and standing Matt Bellamy-shaped cardboard cutouts in the windows, which he animates with bits of string tied to squirrels and stuff. He got the idea from watching Home Alone. It's a security precaution. It's a very wise move.
How did you find that out?
It's on... it took a while.
Took a while.
It took a while. It was a lot of asking around. I spoke to one of the guys that...
celebrity.
I spoke to one of the guys that put in his original security system, and he had it torn out.
And he lives underground for privacy or security reasons? Both.
Yeah.
Really?
Did you know that Donnie and Johnny, the other two members of...
I'm only just processing the first fact.
It's a big
now
fact.
You're shoveling on another one.
Well, that's the way it moves. A fast-moving fact show.
Wow.
The other two members of Muse...
You're like Johnny Ball.
Exactly. I have a beautiful daughter as well.
You do.
So I'm exactly like Johnny Ball, and I'm very good at maths. Donnie and Johnny, the other two members of Muse, live in perspex boxes on the moon. And they're positioned very close to one another so that they can entertain each other by pressing their bare tattooed bottoms up to the walls. Did you know that?
How long has that entertained them?
I mean,
Is it
years.
not really?
Yeah,
Years?
years,
You
yeah.
would have thought it would have worn off.
How long have Muse been successful now?
Years.
Years.
Yeah.
10 years or something?
10 years.
They've been up there for about 10 years. They come to Earth, they do the tour, they go back up and they entertain each other, pressing their bums against the perspex boxes there. Did you know, despite his wealth, Matt Bellamy still forages for all his food in bins, using his whiskery snout to locate various morsels. His favourites are nappies and orange peel.
He eats nappies.
This is what I've been told. I don't know absolutely 100%, but he loves them. Apparently he loves them. And orange peel, like really rank old. You know how if you put an orange in the
crispy.
bin and then leave it there for a few days...
It is crunchy.
That's when it's very old. It gets
Well, I
crunchy.
think, I'm thinking they could be sold as crisps.
Orange
in a
peel
chic
crisps.
boutique.
Yeah, but in between, there's a stage when it pollutes the smell of the bin very badly, orange peel. Have you found that?
No.
Final band fact about Muse. 12, and I was amazed when I found this out, 12% of all revenue from their record sales goes to support Muse's 3 pet charities, which are Maxi Life, which aims to help people whose lives aren't sufficiently intense.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
RIMPUM, that stands for Campaign for Research into Moving Planets Using Mind Power. There's a lot of research going on in that area, and Muse are 100% behind it. And HASPA, that's Help and Support for Peter Andre.
That's nice.
That's a good charity.
That's
I'm
good.
a member of HASPA as well.
Well, that's really going to change things, knowing that stuff when they play tonight.
Absolutely.
And from one set of hard facts to another, it's time for the news. Mate, that was really like ethereal and really nice.
That's what the ethereal part of the place used to look like in the 80s, mate.
Mate.
Oh, it looked beautiful. Your eyeliner's nice.
Thanks, mate. I really like your stripy jodhpurs.
Oh, thanks,
I
mate.
can see your belly button, mate.
Can you?
Oh, it looks deep and mysterious.
It is.
What's in there, mate?
Oh, there's all sorts of stuff for later. You want some?
For later?
Yeah, with Jules Holland. Do you want some?
No, thanks.
Oh, mate.
You know, they're playing tomorrow night, Empire of the Sun. So maybe I should do some Empire of the Sun band facts tomorrow.
I bet you should. I bet they're pretty good. I might go and try and see them. Are they playing while we're on? No, good. I think we should go and try and see them.
Yeah,
I bet
you
they
reckon?
put on a good show.
Which bands did you see today, then?
I
Mr. Early
saw a little
arrival.
bit of What's-Her-Face that was playing earlier, lovely lady Shakira.
Shakira, yeah.
I saw her. She was singing in a foreign language. Everybody looked a little bit confused.
What language was she singing in?
Foreign one.
Foreign.
She kicked off with her big hit, which was a tricky one. Not sure she knew where to go from
Something
there.
by Tricky.
Yeah. But she was very good. What else did I see? I spent most of today, Adam Buxton, wandering around buying you a present.
Wandering. Yes, that's right. Well, we bought each other presents as if it were Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have presents now?
No, I think we'll do presents in a second.
Oh, you reckon?
First of all, we're going to check in with the photos that Glasto Squadron,
Good
and
job
Troop
so
Squadron
far,
and
Squadron.
Black Squadron have sent in. Now, as we said, you guys have been pretty dormant since Christmas, since Adam and I were last on air. So, you know, we're not expecting a kind of response like we used to have in the old days. Things have got to warm up.
Sure, we're not expecting hundreds.
But you've confounded our low expectations by showering us with brilliant pictures. For instance, where's my favourite? Here's my favourite.
So far, we have been absolutely whelmed.
This is from Rick M. in Reading. Even though the person in the photo
Is a lady.
is a lady.
A
Maybe she's
woman.
called Rick, and she's got a huge television. Look at the size of that television.
That is a good-sized
She's got
screen
an enormous
there.
television. She's gathered a lot of her soft toys around her, and they kind of blend in with the crowd who are on the telly at the back. Now, we're going to hold this up to the webcam, so if you're monitoring this... Adam, hold it up.
Oh, yeah, holding it up.
So if
yeah.
you're monitoring this on the internet...
can't really see that,
the
right?
lighting's insufficient. Oh, God.
Here you go, I'm holding.
Do it over there. So that's pretty good. We'll try and get these
That's
up
no
on
good
the
either.
website. It's no good. We really haven't thought this through. Here, James, we'll have to use the power of
It's
words.
almost as if we should
Please?
just concentrate on being on the radio and forget about being on TV as well.
There's one from... Does that say Kay and Rich? Karj and Rich? And she's going into what looks like a sort of portaloo, a wooden toilet hut with a roll of toilet paper.
Well, and that's a very different sort of experience from the one that a real festival goer would have.
It's not really
Have you
reflective.
visited a loo other than the BBC labs?
I haven't. I've walked past them.
Oh my golly! I went into like a public one for the
Yeah.
punters
Did
today.
you?
Brother beyond, it is scary in there, boy. I mean, it's really post-apocalyptic what people are having to put up with.
I certainly smelt the stench.
Because the stench is overpowering. I mean, you would have
The
thought
winky stinky.
the winky stinky and the bottom smells and it's all happening. Speaking of which, I saw Peter Blake, the legendary artist behind the Sgt. Pepper cover, going, and he was using the BBC labs, which
Quite
are
right too.
far superior. But it made me, it inspired a made-up joke. Would you like to hear it?
I think I saw this made-up joke over your shoulder on your laptop earlier.
What are you doing, peeking at my made-up jokes?
Well, yeah, no, I do want to hear it. Go, go, go.
What does Peter Blake do in the lab?
I don't know.
Poop art.
Yes. We got another photo from Roo and Mum. What does this say?
Like pop art.
Leslie. In Yorkshire, and they've made a kind of makeshift tent between two chairs, and they've put a hat on their dog. They've got a bottle of rosé, and that looks like
Rosé.
maybe some whiskey. And, you know, that's a very good photo
That's
as well.
a great
So keep
festival.
those coming in. We're asking you to take photos of your, front room festival. Pretending
wish
you're
I
at
was
Glastonbury. We particularly like the ones that kind of use the coverage on the telly as a sort of optical illusion.
Yeah, it's very clever.
To make us think you're there. 64046 is the text number.
Now we are going to have a bit more music, and after that, exchange some presents. We'll flip a coin to decide who gives who what first. But now here is one of Santa's helpers. He's a man called Seasick Steve, and he wanders around. He's only got 4 strings on his guitar.
Oh, dear.
I don't know if it's that he can't afford the other 2, or someone stole one of them, or I don't know what. But anyway, here he is. He was playing on the Pyramid Stage earlier on today. I mean, that's big news. The man's rise has just been inexorable for the last few years, and all power to him. Here he is, C6 Steve with Never Go West. C6 Steve, charming old hobo man, and that was called Never Go West from Glastonbury earlier on today. He was on the Pyramid Stage. And this is Adam and Joe, delighted to be your hosts this evening from the 40th anniversary of the festival, the end of a beautiful day. I mean, it's just everyone is agreeing that this is going to be a festival to remember.
It's blissful.
It's absolutely blissful.
And we had we set each other a challenge today, listeners, which was to go and buy each other a Glasto Prezi.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of shopping opportunities here.
I mean, there's shop opportunities everywhere you go.
Sort of like a hippie Blue Water.
That's right. I mean, can you imagine what the Pet Shop Boys, who are just about to play the other stage, are doing? Opportunities.
SHOPPING. We're shopping.
And what are they going to be? Buying each other?
All sorts of knickknacks.
Crazy glasses.
Knickknacks.
Nutty hats, because that's the kind of stuff they wear anyway.
They do. They get all their costumes here every year.
Exactly.
Their pointy hats.
Pointy hats, stupid coats.
Their pointy hats.
Ludicrous boots.
And the pointy hats.
And that's how you maintain the Pet Shop
So
Boys.
we gave each other a kind of maximum price range, didn't we? We said 20 quid.
Quite extravagant for us.
Yeah, and we're going to toss a coin now to decide who gets the gift first.
Can you just tell me if you spent your 20 quid limit?
I can't really tell you that.
Oh, all right, then. We'll just toss the coin and have a look at the gift.
Toss the coin. What are you going to call for?
Heads, I give you a present first.
It's tails.
You give me something.
OMG. Okay, so I didn't spend any of my £20.
Did you not?
No, I didn't spend anything on your present.
What did you make it?
I went up to the green fields,
Yeah.
right? The Avalon fields, like the old school Glastonbury,
Right.
away from the din of contemporary rock music,
Yeah.
to the healing fields, where there's tantric massage, song therapy, ironwork workshops.
It's my
all sorts
favourite part of
very earthy.
Sure.
It's the proper Glastonbury.
Absolutely.
And I went to a special place and made you a special thing.
No,
I
did you?
Now it's
So
in a sort
creative.
of it's in a big British castle catering. What would you call this box?
Yeah, it's a
Right, if you can see there
takeaway
on
box.
on the webcam there.
Thank you so
takeaway
much.
box.
On the top, Joe's written
do be very careful
Adam's
with
Glasto gift, handle with care. There's illustrations of a guitar, a microphone, some beer, sunshine, a jazz cigarette, and inside...
He's opening it now, listeners.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. I'm so ashamed of my gift now.
I went to this clay therapy place where you can just make stuff out of clay. It was for children. But I went in. I was unafraid. I went in and I sat down and I made Adam a clay homunculus. It's a clay sculpture of the Buckules. You can take it out of its
It's
packaging.
just
You
extraordinary.
have to be careful. It might not be set yet.
You made
it's
this with your
hyper-real.
own hands.
With my own hands.
You've set
It's a
bar.
Buxton homunculus.
Look at that.
It's got the beard. It's a good likeness, don't you think?
What
the
am I
sailor's
wearing
hat.
in
You're
this
wearing
thing?
what you always
like a bow
wear.
tie.
No,
no, those are pockets.
Those are pockets with big boutons.
Thanks, man. You've made me look really good. I mean, I just don't look that handsome.
Well, luckily with you, as long as you stick a beard and a sailor's hat on it.
It's a funny sailor's
It
hat.
looks
It's like
like
a
you.
cross between a train driver's hat
I was in a rush.
and a sailor's hat. But it's, I mean, I'm not criticising it. It's a beautiful job.
That would be awful
my
to
nose
criticise that.
doesn't look like that, I would say.
Doesn't it?
No, but you've got my lips absolutely right.
Here, we'll hold it up to the webcam
Yeah.
so that the listeners can see it.
It's just fantastic, man. Oh, I can't believe you did that. You went creative on my ass.
Yeah.
Damn you. My gifts are awful. And I spent 10 quid. I didn't spend the whole 12, 20. I was walking around for about 4 hours trying to think of stuff.
Really?
Didn't even cross my mind to actually
It was
do
such
something
fun to
creative.
make. The people who owned the stall actually went off to the loo and to have a shower while I was making it, and they said, "Do you mind looking after the stall?"
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was kind of running the stall for a good half hour. And a bit like Richard Dreyfuss at the end of Close Encounters, all these little kids came and started to make clay around me. I was like the king.
I thought you were going to say you started constructing a sculpture of Devil's Mountain.
I should have, shouldn't I?
Out of... wow, this is amazing,
It was very
man.
therapeutic.
I can't thank you enough. I'm going to have it fired, and then I'm going to...
Have me fired.
Then I'm going to have you fired, then I'm going to have James fired. It's just great. I love it. I can't thank you enough. Can I have the money as well?
No.
Oh. Here's some music right now. And, sorry, James? Who is it? Oh, it's Jazzy Jess. I completely forgot.
Jazzy Jess.
Jazzy Jess.
I love Jazzy Jess. He's the jazziest of all the Jesses. It's not just Jazzy Jess. It's the
It's the Fresh Prince.
Prince.
The Fresh Prince and that is that.
With Summertime. Here it is.
Adam and Joe here at Glastonbury 2010. Just a reminder there in case you're confused about what year it is. And that was some wonderful music from the marvellous woman who is called Tina Go Nuts. Bat for Lashes, obviously that was. I was just joking with you there. And I'm still just knocked out by the present that Joe just gave me.
What a gift.
He created a clay sculpture of me, a very flattering one. It looks a little bit like E from the Eels as well. It could double as an E sculpture there.
It needs a rotating presentational platform.
Plinth.
Clay sculptures really come to life when you put them on a rotating plinth.
They really do.
They really do.
I mean, and that is a totally three-dimensional
I'm
experience.
simulating the rotation.
You've created there. You should stimulate it as well. I'm going to make something for you tomorrow, man. I swear to you, because, I mean, you've raised the bar so high, and in the process saved yourself a lot of money, and I am so embarrassed about my gifts.
I'm excited about the gifts.
All right.
One of them looks like it's a potty.
I've got you 3, right?
We should bring listeners who might have just tuned in up to speed. We're here, obviously, at the Glastonbury Festival. We've given each other a challenge to spend 20 quid on a present for one another.
Joe spent nothing and
I
made a
spent
sculpture.
nothing, made something out of clay. Adam's bought me a whole little nest of gifts. There's 3 gifts here.
3 gifts.
So I'm going to get straight down to it and open the first
Sure,
one.
rip
Shall
it
I
off.
open this
Yeah,
one first?
it's just newspaper.
Rip
You can
it
just
off.
rip it, boy.
Wrapped in today's Guardian. Left-leaning newspaper. Not sure whether you've heard of it.
No, I don't agree with the left.
Actually, it's liberal-leaning.
I'm so right-wing that it gets me furious as soon as I see that.
Oh. That's a can of energy drink.
Kind of energy drink.
That's good because I need the energy
Yeah.
to keep the energy up for the energy at the festival.
Have you ever had an energy drink? And don't
No, but
say
you
the
know
name
what?
because this is the
On
Big British Castle.
My little film that I made, everyone was drinking these.
Oh, were
I
they?
don't drink these things, actually, which isn't a good thing to say to someone who's just bought you one as a gift.
No, but you're going to drink it
I
now.
am going to drink it now.
We'll share it,
I mean,
boy.
they're full of good things that are good for you, aren't they?
They're
Look
full
at
of
that
dangerous
list.
chemicals. And
that's
can you
lovely.
imagine? You gotta crack it open on.
Do
there.
I have to crack it
Yeah.
open? Okay.
We're going to share this, mate.
Energy drink. All right,
Imagine
things
what
gonna
the
change.
show's going to be like.
Yeah, it's going to give a real boost
In
to the show.
15 minutes, we're going to be going nuts.
Oh, what is that flavour supposed to be?
I hate energy drinks. My worst. Oh, I
like
can
medicine.
already smell it.
Ah.
It has the medicinal funk
horrible.
of the famous bull-based drink.
The famous bull-based drink. What's that?
Bull, you know, the bull.
Oh, I think it's
the bull factory.
I'm going to open the second present while I was having a
it's
little bit of the energy drink.
disgusting.
Why did you buy that? What was the thinking behind it? Just something that's useful at a festival.
I thought it would be funny if we both had it and
Oh,
suddenly
no,
we
this
got
is
all
good.
jittery.
This is very good. This is great. Look at this. Present number 2 is a kind of wooden board with cats painted on it.
It's a nice instrument machine. I liked the sound of it. I played with it for a while and I thought we could make some music together.
Thank you for the same note.
We could go up to the healing fields later and
this
jam.
Present. It's quite atonal.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful gift. Thank you very much.
And
finally, the final gift here is the biggest gift of all. It's a sort of...
It doubles. It's got, I would say, 3 uses. At least 3 uses.
Look at that. It's a bongo, a kind of a bongo basin. It's a bongo basin
A
basket.
bongo basket.
A BBB, a bongo basin
You could
basket.
wear it on your head.
As a hat.
Pop it on
As
your
a
head.
lovely
It's like a
hattie.
crown.
There it is.
Look at that, mate.
And it's beautifully embroidered. It's lovely. There's so much lovely handmade tit-tat here at Glastonbury. And that's a really touching, beautiful set of gifts, Adam. Thank you so much.
Concert.
We do a little concert.
Start rapping.
I will in a second. Adam and Joe, Adam and Joe, Adam and Joe on the radio. That's all I've got. We need some more of that energy drink, man.
Yeah, we
That's
do.
a very lovely gift.
Well, I'm embarrassed. I'm dead embarrassed after you made me that sculpture, but still. That's
beautiful.
It's there for what it's worth.
How much?
Did
you spend?
It was... Do you want to know exact prices? That drum was £5. This thing was £2.50.
That's not bad. The basic unit cost here at Glastonbury is £2.
Energy
like
drink,
£2 for
£1.50.
a bottle of soda.
Right.
Yeah. You can't get nothing for less than £2 here.
I had a large G&T last night after the show. Guess how much that sent me back?
£5?
£7.
No.
£7, sweet baby Christmas. And the cup started to disintegrate before I even finished the flipping thing. Now, over at the advert stage today were Groove Armada. And which track are we going to hear from them, James? Is it the... Not Forgotten? Okay, it's not the one from the advert.
How ironic.
How very ironic. What?
You forgot the name of the song.
Here we go. This is Groove Armada. Groove Armada playing earlier on today at Glastonbury. Adam and Joe here, and one of the bands that I saw today, me and James went along to see them playing at the John Peel tent, were the fantastic Wild Beasts. I'm a big fan of theirs. Their album Two Dancers last year was top of a lot of polls, Joe. And
Well, that's why you like them.
yeah, because I tend to read a lot of polls and
Yeah.
climb to the top of them. But we had the pleasure of hooking up in the afternoon and having a little fun quiz in the BBC catering area, and this is what happened. Right, let me set the scene for you listeners. We're sat in the BBC canteen. It's a hot tent. What's the name of this restaurant, Joe?
It's called Le Poupou.
It's not called
No,
Le
it's
Poupou.
called
Eat
Le
to the
Restaurant.
Beat.
It's called Eat to the Beat. Is it really?
Yeah,
Really?
we established that.
Wow.
They've named the restaurant
You
Eat
wouldn't
to
have
the
thought
Beat.
they would have bothered.
What other restaurant names could you have for a catering tent in a pop festival?
I'm sure whatever names there are, they're out there already.
If there's
man.
anyone listening who would like to text us some suggestions for restaurant names at a pop festival, please do so. 64046 is the text number. We're here with Wild Beasts, I'm excited to say. How you doing, chaps?
Great, yeah, we just got off stage. It was awesome.
That's Ben talking. He's guitar and keyboards. Handsome young man. Looks a little bit like Morrissey. No, not really like Morrissey. How would you describe him, Joe?
Just very handsome, like he's just escaped from some sort of a very stylish wind tunnel.
I think you're very handsome also.
Thank you very much. We'll be making love in a matter of seconds.
Now listen, chaps, let's get to the quiz, because we're going to have an exciting quiz now between you chaps, Wild Beasts, and Joe Cornish.
Yeah, hi, Jay Corn.
Jay Corn is headlining the awkward stage in the Killing Fields tonight. Okay, let's get into the quiz. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you questions and sometimes set you tasks. Lucy, our broadcast assistant, is here and she's scoring the whole thing. She'll use her discretion for some of the rounds. And I will ask you both to answer the questions one at a time and then tell you who's got the right answer. Question 1. A group of artists known as the Wild Beasts, or Les Fauves in French, took the art world by storm at the beginning of the 20th century with paintings that often featured bright, unrealistic colours. Jay Corn, name a famous Fauvist.
I thought you were just going to ask me what they were called, and I would have said the Fauvists. A famous Fauvist is... Oh, God, I don't know any Fauvists. Rolf Harris? Is he a Fauvist?
I'll tell you in a second. Let's see, Wild Beasts. Name a famous Fauvists.
I would maybe suggest Henri Matisse, who is the forefather of Fauvism.
Henri Matisse is the correct answer, although I did have Rolf Harris as well. And I also had Ron Wood. Bonus question for you, Jay Corn. What kind of bread did the Fauvists eat?
Have you already got the answer to this?
Yes.
Tell me. You better tell me.
Fauvist. Okay, here's a tough question that everybody's answering at the moment, and I'll ask this to Tom from Wild Beasts first. Who came off worst in the embarrassing set-to between James Corden and Patrick Stewart at the Glamour Awards recently? Were you aware of this set-to?
I am aware of this, yeah. I haven't actually seen the footage, but I imagine as James Corden's, whether you find it funny or not, he's a professional comedian and Patrick Stewart is a professional actor. I suggest that James Corden made Sir Patrick look rather foolish.
Okay, that's Wild Beast's answer. Jay Corn?
I disagree, because, of course, Patrick Stewart is Picard, and he owns a spaceship, so anything he says goes.
The correct answer is, it was a tie. They came off equally badly. Okay, next question. Supply the rest of this well-known verse. I'll ask you first, Jay Corn. Darling, the spirit is kicking. Don't be fooled by the moonshine. It's tricking.
My pants are sweaty, they are sticking to my undercarriage. It feels quite wicked.
And Wild Beasts, could you supply the rest of that line?
Frocks spill like alcopop. Around girls' knees, trousers and blouses make excellent sheets down dimly lit streets.
Is the correct answer. That's a line from We Still Got the Taste Dancing on Our Tongues. You must know that one, Joe.
I do, I just didn't want to embarrass the band.
Okay, here's another question for you chaps. What are the names of the Olympic mascots? And are they embarrassing and patronising or wicked and fun? That's one for Wild Beasts first. Who wants to take that one?
Is there a lion? No.
Not giving you any help. Jay Corn, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, they're called Bromley and Snot. And they're like blue, aren't they? They're like blue and they've got round faces. They're sort of like mutated Teletubbies. They're called very weird things, aren't they? Like Whittlecox and Flump or something. What are they called?
Funnily enough, I'm going to give you some points there because Bromley and Snot was one of the names they were considering. Whittlecox and Flump was one that got vetoed. Other names that they considered were Win Guy and Runny, Go Brit and Can Do, Coolies and Smart Fart, but they settled on Wenlock and Mandeville, named after the places where the steel was poured, and Mandeville where research into disablement was undertaken. Fun fact. Okay, finally, at the end of our quiz, I want you to perform a bit of rapping from your favourite rap song.
Oh, wow.
Who's going to take that one, Wild Beasts?
You got this one.
A rap on live radio. I'm a millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire. Tougher than Nigerian hair. My criteria compared to your career, this isn't fair. I'm a venereal disease, like a menstrual bleed. I can't swear on BBC.
That was good, that was good. Hey, very good. All right, Jay Corn, what are you going to go with?
I can do some rapping. Sure, I can do some rapping. You got to give me a beat though, Wild Beasts. I need money. I used to be a stick-up kid, so I think of all the devious things I did. I used to roll up. This is a hold-up. Ain't nothing funny. Stop smiling. Still don't nothing move but the money. But now I burnt it because I'm righteous. Feel great. Maybe I might just search for 9 to 5. Because if I thrive, maybe I'll stay alive. Or walk down the street whistling this. Feeling out of place. Because man, do I miss the pen in the paper. Stereotype. Only Eric being a nice big plate of fish. Which is my favourite dish. But without the money, it's still a wish. Speed rapping. That's the only way to do it.
Are you white by any chance, Jay Corn?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Actually.
I didn't realise.
What's the score?
We're going to find out what the score is now from Lucy. How did they do?
Wild Beasts got 2.5.
2.5?
The half was for the tie question. I honoured both teams a half.
They both got a point for the tie, okay.
I gave the Wild Beasts 8 out of 10 for the rap. Gave Joe 10.
Did you? Wow. That's a bit partisan, isn't it?
But he only got 1.5 in the quiz.
And the final scores
So
then?
the winners are the Wild Beasts.
Hey, congratulations, chaps. Thank you so much for coming in and joining in our kind of kids programme.
Thank you. It always feels good to win.
Listen, very nice to meet you. Cheerio. And here is Hooting and Howling from today's fantastic set in the John Peel tent. This is Wild Beasts.
That's the wonderful Wild Beasts with Hooting and Howling from the John Peel tent earlier today here at Glastonbury. This is Adam and Joe. Don't forget that after our show finishes tonight from 10 o'clock on 6 Music, Steve Lamacq will be here live covering the Pyramid Stage Muse concert, which is coming up later on. Ooh, imagine the kind of pyrotechnics that there will be literally and musically during that show. It's going to be extraordinary, Joe.
I think it could genuinely be extraordinary.
I'm not being ironical.
I think we should go and check it out.
I'm going to check it out.
And report back.
There's going to be rockets.
You know, a million clever kids can't be wrong. Can they?
Surely not.
Surely not. We've been asking you to send in your front room festival photos to recreate Glastonbury in your front room, and the pictures of thousands of pictures have come in.
That's an exaggeration.
10,
maybe 10
pictures have come in. You've been sending them via text message to 64046. Standard charges apply.
Network
rates apply, whatever
apply.
It is.
Do apply.
Dan and Andrea from Sheffield, what they did is they scraped some grass off their wellies from last year's Glastonbury, and they put it in a little pot, and they've cultivated it.
And they grew it. Is that really what they did?
Yeah, they've got genuine Glasto grass in a little pot. Isn't that touching?
That's very touching.
That's amazing.
That's touching me right now in all kinds of places. Very, very touching.
There's a lovely girl called Maggie.
Yeah,
she's dressed in her best festival outfit, and she's put all her dollies around the telly.
Who's on the TV behind her?
Can't quite tell who that is.
Zoe Ball.
Zoe Ball on the telly. Belle and Marge, they're having a heck of a rave. Am I allowed to say heck? These days on the BBC, is that all right?
No, that's on the danger list.
Oh, no. But they're having a flip of a festival in their front room.
So sorry about the language, ladies
They're
and gentlemen.
drinking soft drinks. They've got their shades on. They've got a Star Wars poster. They're off the hook.
They are absolutely crazy. But I have to say that they are behaving better than most people have been behaving at the real festival. The behaviour of people at festivals is quite odd. When people are gathered together in that many numbers, you know, they revert to sort of gang, mass, animalistic mentality. Don't you find?
Yeah.
Like, especially when you see patches, like, because it's very hot, when you see patches of shade, there's just big groups, as if it was in the middle of the African scrub or whatever, where all the humans are just standing in the shade. And, like, right to the edge of the shady area, do you know what I mean? Perfectly described mass of human beings. And then also the other thing that people do is like do impromptu picnics in the most revolting places. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Right next to the lavs, on the way to Glastonbury, I saw people sort of camping, or not camping, but picnicking by the motorway. You know,
Yeah,
just stop
that's a
off.
peculiarly famous British thing, isn't it?
Is it just the
thermos
Brits that
flask
do that?
by the motorway. But here people sit in chairs and have a picnic in the middle of a crowd of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
During a concert. The other thing I'm impressed by is people's ability to pitch their tent and then have quite relaxing soirees next to huge tanks of feces and urine. There's a lot of that going on in the outer lying areas of the festival camping areas.
They're not fussed by it at all.
No, they don't mind the smell. It's fine. They're getting changed, they're washing, they're eating, right next to a huge sort of lavy area.
The other thing is the people that pitch their tent right next to the busiest thoroughfares and walkways.
Yes, that's very brave, isn't it?
It's foolhardy.
Do you think?
But surely in the middle of
You've
the
got to
night,
camp somewhere. You
like
get
on
here late.
on a regular basis, they're going to be getting casualties just flopping onto their tents at all points. And it's so dusty there, it's horrible.
Hey, keep those pictures coming in. There's still half an hour left in the show. 64046 is the number. Keep pictures coming in of your front room festival. We've had some good ones coming in right now. There's an innovative one that we'll tell you about a little bit later.
Very good, yeah. Very nice to have you back with us, by
Thanks,
the
man.
way, Black Squadron. Not you.
Oh, I thought you were saying about me.
And you. I've got to be nice to you because I'm so touched by your gift and so embarrassed by my gifts to you. I've got to raise the stakes tomorrow. Here's some more music from this year's festival. This is Vampire Weekend. The endearing, preppy sound of Vampire Weekend. That track was called Horchata. That's the sound of Joe Cornish with his new Indian music-giving Prezi that I bought him. You're listening to Adam Joe here on BBC Six Music, and it's time for the news.
It's a nice, fun bit of music, mate.
It's very pretty.
It's really nice. You know, I'm going to talk like this for a little bit now, mate. I hope you don't mind.
I'm struggling to identify that accent.
Are
It's the
you?
South African one,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, it is South African. I'm surprised you didn't realise there's a very important game going on tomorrow, mate.
There is an important football match. I don't know whether anybody's heard. Adam and I are full of information about football. We're big fans of football.
Love football.
We love football. And
Boots.
it's interesting that various bands'
Penalties.
sets are going to be kind of torpedoed, aren't they, by the footy tomorrow. For instance, Ray Davies at 4:15 on the Pyramid stage. You know, what's going to go on there? It's the middle of the match, the big boot.
I don't know if he's
The-
a
the
football
mega
fan or
kickoff.
not, Ray Davies.
Well, I would have thought people who are into football would be into Ray.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen there? What's going to happen to Grizzly Bear at 4 o'clock?
No clash.
It's going to be an audience Dupont.
It's I mean, that's the standard
Very
Grizzly Bear.
refined.
Yeah.
You and me, we should go see Grizzly Bear.
Definitely. We'll all
'Cause
hold hands.
We don't really care about the football.
No, it's going to be a lovely meeting of people who don't necessarily care about football.
But won't the whooping and the cheering interrupt the Grizzles?
No, it's going to be far away. Surely.
Keane are playing on the Avalon stage.
What are they doing on the Avalon
Ah,
stage?
maybe some experimental material.
Right.
So anyway,
Do you think, though, that during the... Do you think that people have brought with them vuvuzelas?
I sincerely hope so.
You sincerely hope so?
Well, they're on sale out there. I've seen
Are they?
vuvuzelas on sale.
Why
yeah.
didn't you get me one of them?
Why didn't you get me one of them?
Well, if I'd found one, I would
It's
have got
very
you one.
aggressive,
of them.
very fast.
Sorry.
God.
What do you think about the vuvuzela, mate? Do you love it?
I don't mind it. I think it's quite exotic.
The lepetata. That's the Tswana name.
My friend said it sounds like a bee has got stuck in the commentary booth.
Funny you should say that. It's like a swarm of bees, isn't it? Here's a clip of an actual swarm of bees. No, That's the actual swarm of vuvuzelas, mate. But the swarm of bees sounds very similar. That's just bees.
It's hard to tell which is which now.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's like the Private Eye lookalikes column where they swap them around.
When you get closer to the vuvuzela, it's a far more aggressive sound.
Yeah.
But do you find it unpleasant? I mean, it's nice when it's just in the background.
You
like
know,
the bees.
I find the whole shebang quite boring.
Oh, do
So
you?
the sound of bees
is the least of it.
it doesn't really change things. That's what I usually... And not only do I get a sound, like a monotonous buzzing in my ear when I look at football, but I just get sort of a green wash.
Right.
With dotty men moving around.
It's kind of football,
no change.
Football tinnitus. Do you think that people in South Africa are going to be left with that sound for years to come now, just the sound of bees in their mind?
Well, that's their national noise, isn't it?
Yes.
They do it at all events, right?
That's right. They do it at weddings,
Yeah.
mate.
Do they do it at
Yes.
weddings? Do they do it at concerts as well?
Concerts, vuvuzela
That wouldn't be
concerts.
very good, would it?
Lepetata concert, lepetatas. That's what they're called.
What are they?
Oh, that's the Tswana name.
Is it?
Yes, for the vuvuzela.
I think this accent's questionable.
Is it? Do you reckon?
I don't know, but I get that.
It's authentic.
My spidey sense is saying that it's maybe tiptoeing on some sort of big British castle line.
Do you think it's on PC?
I don't know.
Anyway, listen, I want to spread my range internationally as far as facts go. That was not a sentence I'm happy with in any way. But I thought you might be interested to hear some of the national horn noises from other countries.
I would be.
That's good. Here's one from Denmark where they use something called the Baba Fubaba.
Yes, I've heard about that.
Yeah, this is what it sounds like just on it. This is a small group of people playing it.
Is that an instrument? That sounds like vocalized.
It does, doesn't it? It sounds like people just
What does it
saying
look like? What's it called again?
A Baba Fubaba.
A Baba Fubaba. What does it look like?
It's like a big leather globe.
A big leather globe.
Yeah.
I thought it looked a bit like a hookah.
No, there's an attachment.
Is there?
That looks like that.
Wow, that must get annoying.
Well, you know, they love it, though. It's very traditional in Denmark. In Australia, they have something called a mehe.
No, I've heard about that one as well.
And that's an ancient one. The Aborigines used to use it, and then it died out, and then it's come back for sporting events. Here's what it sounds. This is so rubbish, isn't it?
It's the best thing I've ever heard. What are you talking about?
That would be good at a sports match, though, wouldn't it?
What do you mean, would be?
I mean, it is good.
It is.
In Australia. Is it Australia? Yeah. I'm forgetting my own rubbish. Okay, here's
another one.
Yeah.
What country is this from?
Italy.
Italy.
Yes.
Ah. Why do I get the feeling this is going to conform to some sort of national stereotype?
Well, it's... Why? What kind of thing are you imagining?
I don't know. Something like the
Mario.
The Dolmio family.
Oh, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Just a noise of this, a kind of noise of this, a kind of... No. Nothing like that. This is the Oahoho.
What does that look like?
I tell you exactly what this looks like.
Tell me exactly what this looks like.
A beautiful woman.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
What, the size of a beautiful woman? What's it made from? If not flesh and blood?
Clay.
Clay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to hear what it sounds like?
Yes. How do you... what, are they blowing into it?
Yes, exactly. So the breath, it takes a lot of breath. You have to puff up your cheeks and you blow. I'm not going to tell you whereabouts you blow, but...
It's making different noises. Are there different orifices from which the noises emerge?
Yeah, exactly.
Really? Why don't you hear these instruments when there are football games?
Funny, you
in
should
those
say
countries? Have they been banned?
No, they haven't been banned. Here's what that particular instrument sounds like when there's a real football match going on.
The run of Gareth Barry with his right foot just gets into the day. There's still a lot to do there. Peter Crouch. Barry.
I mean...
Hang on, I know this is a good game. Keep playing it. Barry.
I mean, obviously that's not in Italy.
It's a bit distracting.
Sometimes I...
Wow.
Sometimes I should try less hard. Let's play some more music right now. And we have got The National for you. Now, The National are a band that I keep on being told about and being told how good
My lady partner loves The National. She's got a T-shirt.
Right.
And she goes and sees them, unless she's covering up something.
Whoa. Well, she's probably covering her modesty, isn't she, with the T-shirt? But let's listen to what they sound like. This was them playing here at Glastonbury 2010. Good stuff. No wonder your lady partner's into them. They sound fantastic. That was The National here at Glastonbury 2010. Hey, we're Adam and Joe. Our show is nearly over. Steve Lamacq is going to be taking over soon, from 10 o'clock, in fact, where he will be providing live coverage of the Muse, live from the Pyramid stage.
And the PSBs.
And the PSBs there at the other stage, right?
Yeah.
For their enjoyable disco shenanigans.
Hey, and thank you to everybody who texted in a photo of their front room festival, or garden festival as it is in many cases, because it's so very hot.
Oh, mate.
Sharon and Dave have pitched 2 tents, and Sharon has put the paddling pool up. Do you think they did all this just for this photo? And she's sitting there with her feet in the paddling pool.
They could have done,
It looks simply glorious.
It really does. Why have they got 2 tents? They're not getting on.
They're not getting on. They prefer to sleep in separate tents.
Oh, that's a shame.
Harry Burgess and some sort of a friend has concocted a very clever thing where he's drawn things on a thing.
Burgess.
How would you explain that, Adam?
You're going for Burgess rather than Burgess.
Burgess.
Burgess. Oh, yeah, well, they have their faces on the edge of a drawing they've done of the Pyramid stage, and they have included speech bubbles, which describe the conversation thusly. You want to see Muse? No, thanks. That's the conversation they're having.
Elks and Lisa, does that say Elks in South Wales? Have sent in a photo of a man. I don't know whether he's any relation to Elks. Does that say Elks? Is someone called Elks? Elvis?
Elks. It does look like Ellis, maybe?
Ellis.
He's got a Doors T-shirt on there. He looks like my kind of guy, and he's got a similar
banner, though. Look at
sort
that.
of hat. What sort of banner has he got?
It says the Elmsbury Festival 2010.
Ooh.
Very good work. Thank you to everybody who's submitted a photo. We'll put the best of those up on the blog.
I wonder if Keane are playing the Elmsbury Festival as well.
I think no, they're not. They got turned down.
That's why they're playing the... where are they playing? The Avalon Fields. Yeah, there you go. Hey, man, this is an unrelated question, but it's been bugging me, and I would really like to ask you this.
Okay, I'll answer it.
Okay, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks recently.
Right.
When I'm travelling around on the train and that kind of thing, and it's not practical to read an actual book, or I'm too lazy. What I want to know is this. If you've listened to an audiobook, is it acceptable thereafter for you to refer to having read that book?
No.
Absolutely not?
I don't think so, no.
Really?
No, it would be an abuse of the word read.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you use read to...
You say, I've had it read to me. And then you sound like the baby that you are.
But listen, what if I've absorbed, as I have, all the information, and actually more efficiently than I would have done if I'd actually read the thing?
It's not the same.
Why?
Because the intonation of the reader puts a particular spin on the information that you would be putting on yourself if you read it in your own head.
That's something I hadn't thought of.
I'm just splitting hairs. I mean, the answer is yeah. You probably can.
I mean, you've absorbed the information, but you think there's a value...
They're often abridged as well. They're very often abridged.
I go for the unabridged
Do
ones.
you?
Sure I do.
Really?
Because I like things unabridged.
Quite right,
Hate
too.
Bridges. Bridges in Madison County, hated it. Jeff Bridges, don't rate him. Hate any kind of bridge. Dental bridges, the worst. But if you're absorbing the information, that's one thing, but you put a premium on the actual act of reading words with your mind.
I think so.
Sure.
I think so.
Well,
Do you find
it's
yourself
very retrograde.
Do you know when you read a book and you sometimes drift off and find yourself having to reread the page?
Absolutely.
Does that happen when you're listening to an audiobook?
No.
Do you drift off?
No, total focus.
Total focus.
Total focus.
Really?
Absolutely. And my recall for the events and the phrases and everything is much better than it would be.
Do you like the book to be read by the author, or do you like them to be read by Patrick Stewart?
Well, it
or
depends.
James Corden?
It depends. We were talking about Ian McEwan the other day, on the podcast yesterday, in fact. Got the audiobook for that one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that was read by an actor, and he did a pretty good job of inhabiting the persona of the protagonist.
That's interesting. You prefer the audiobooks to the written books?
Sure I do.
I wonder what that said. What does it say about Adam, listeners? What do you think? Send us in some analysis.
I'm not saying that I no longer read books. It's just
no, but I think a therapist would have a field day with that.
It's an added dimension to my book. You know, I get more books in. This is what I'm saying.
Do you listen to them in fast forward?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
But you could cram even more in if you just speeded them up a little bit.
This is time where I otherwise would not be able to read because of certain
It would be like they're all being read by the Stromps.
You were right about the Stromps. They are called the Stromps.
Sure I was.
Good fact knowledge. Now listen, folks, that's it for our show, though, tonight. We are going to play you a nice little track from The in a second and get the studio ready for the live link-up with Radio 2.
Yeah, stay tuned. And don't forget, you can see all sorts of fantastic coverage if you go to bbc.co.uk/Allo. I'm about to read our blog out. That's not right. /Glastonbury. You can see coverage of loads of stages. It's just as if you're here.
The podcast from last night is available to download right now. The podcast from tonight's show will be available tomorrow. All good stuff. But now, thank you so much for listening.
And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, 8 till 10, for another Sunset show, our final Sunset show. Is that right?
It is, yeah.
Oh,
it's going to be it. So take care, listeners. Thanks for listening. I love you. Bye. Here's the
Bye.